You know, it'll never ever get old. And I'm telling you right now, it'll never get old talking about Sweet Baby Inc., ladies and gentlemen. Their massive failures that I love reporting on. Their failures that I love to just show everyone that I possibly can that this company that advocates for a lot of racist tendencies are the ones who are just completely failing left and right. Well, now we have a new rumor apparently coming out from that Park Place saying Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn developer A44 Games is going to be expecting massive layoffs.
You're fired! Okay.
Now, I've said this in my many videos about Flintlock Siege of Dawn, and I've also said this on Hypnocast, our live stream every day at 9 p.m. Eastern. I said it quite frankly, very clearly. When it comes to Sweet Baby Inc., I think that this game, for Flintlock Siege of Dawn from A44 Games, A44 Games is going to feature massive layoffs. I said that from the beginning. There is no doubt about it. They came out with this bullshit number saying that they hit 500,000 players playing this game. I call absolute bullshit. There is no way you have 500,000 concurrent players playing this game across all platforms. I do not believe that, and I would like to see evidence of that if possible, because if I'm going to be proven wrong, please provide me with the actual evidence. Do not give me a bullshit statement like that and then run away from Twitter about it. Kim Belair decided to self-insert herself into this video game. This is why you see her right here on screen. This is the girl boss version of Kim Belair without wearing her hair out like she normally does. And they decided that this was going to be the greatest thing ever. And unfortunately, by partnering with Sweet Baby Inc., they've essentially killed their game before the game was even allowed to release. A new rumor claims that A44 Games is expected to lay off much of its staff following the failure of Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. A user on Reset Era, who has since edited his comment to remove it, posted, "I have a friend of a friend who resigned from the company. He is expecting massive layoffs. Does not bode well, sadly." The original post was made on July 21st and was screen capped by X user Pirate Nation and shared to X on July 30th. Well, again, is anybody sad about this, right? Like, I'm not going to be sad about a company that, by all definitions, is actually a grifter, right? Like, by the actual definition of the word, Sweet Baby Inc. does absolutely grift. There is no doubt about it. And they try to utilize their, I guess diversity or whatever you want to call it, to try to extort companies into giving them money. They lie on people, they make hit pieces, and they try to make it a thing where, hey, we can fix your reputation, we can fix your image as long as you pay us money. Pay me money to fix your bad image that is currently spreading around online that may or may not have been started by the DEI consultancy firm. And then it says, as noted by Pirate Nation, the official X account for Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn shared that it had over 500,000 players across PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. The company posted, since launch, we've seen 500,000 new members of the coalition army across PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. That's huge. Is anybody believing this number? Wait, so hold on. Let's be real, okay? You have 600 some odd players who bought the game on Steam. That is a good gauge of the amount of interest that people are willing to have for this game and actually spend money on it. But if you mean to tell me that you hit 500,000 players across all platforms, I would guarantee you that the majority of those players didn't spend a single dime. Game Pass players and PlayStation Plus players do not count. And this is why they constantly push for Game Pass and PS Plus, because that way they can heighten their numbers, right? People who would otherwise not spend money on this game, they would download the game and check it out, and thus that will boost the number of this game to investors when they try to garner money for it. It'll boost the number, and people will realize that, oh, well, it looks like a lot of people are playing this game. No, that's not the case at all. Most people playing this game are free to play. Most of them are going to quit within the first 24 hours of playing the game, or maybe 48 hours if you really want to give it a shot. But ultimately, just because you got Game Pass players and PlayStation Plus players doesn't mean your game is a success, right? At the end, you need money. You need to garner money from sales. So unless you got an amazing contract with PlayStation Plus and Game Pass to give you like crazy royalties for offering this game free on their platform, I gotta imagine there's no way that it's enough money to try to make back what you spent designing this game. There is just no way that's a thing. Then it says, as for the veracity of this rumor, the layoffs might have already happened. Former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern also reported on July 21st that the same date that user on Reset Era shared his claim that most of the staff have been laid off, the game has no players, no weekend spike. He also added, interestingly enough, SBI has been scrubbed from the credits, even though Cabrutus Rambo had all the receipts that they were involved. Well, that's because Cabrutus called them out since the beginning. And one of their community managers tried to reach out to Cabrutus, and Cabrutus asked very simply for one of two things: either a interview with somebody who is a developer over at that studio to try to speak to their game and why it's so DEI filled, or provide him with a review copy that's, obviously heavily censored, something that would showcase there isn't much or at all DEI in this game to begin with, and there isn't any Sweet Baby Inc. influences. They couldn't do either. They didn't want to do either. They left him hanging just like they leave us hanging all the time. So they don't want to have this conversation about why this game is a failure at the end of the day. And I just, honestly, I'm so over it, right? Like, because people know Sweet Baby Inc. is a death note. If you're partnered with Sweet Baby Inc., you can try to hide it all you want from your credits, but you can't hide it. People are going to find out. The internet is going to find out. And so you need to come to an understanding and a realization that when you partner with companies like this, it's a death note. Like, the game is dead. The game is going to be dead before the game even releases. As sad as that is, it's true 9.5 out of 10 times. Sure, every once in a blue moon, you're going to get some random fucking, random occurrence of that not being the case. But for the most part, that is going to be the case through and through. He shared an image with the post seemingly indicating all the individuals who worked at A44 and on the game who no longer work with the company. Now, I'm not going to go through all the names. I don't really care to go through all the names. All I care about is the understanding that Sweet Baby Inc. has killed yet another video game before it even got off the ground. Grums also added in a follow-up tweet, many more devs have been moved to the special thanks section, which stands against most credit guidelines and point to high audio turnover even before the game was launched. Chanel Kilgan's LinkedIn reveals she stopped working at A44 in May of 2024. Eden, same thing, stopped working at A44 Games. Phil Kurzman also stopped working at A44 Games. So you got all these people who have obviously been fired, who are going to be on the market trying to talk about how special they are and how amazing they are and what they bring to a team setting. But ultimately, they have to have Flintlock Siege of Dawn on their resume at some point, and that's going to turn off a lot of people with a brain. If any of these people on their LinkedIns want to showcase more video games and what they worked on, I gotta imagine that having Flintlock being on that list is probably not going to be something they're going to be very proud of. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I feel like that's going to be a really bad look for you if you worked on Flintlock, which was a massive failure of a video game. But I guess, listen, man, when it comes to the AAA gaming scene, they're not exactly worrying about the work necessarily. They're more worried about the activism. A lot of people are hiring people that have the right mindset. That's what's more important, to have the right mindset. So even if they worked on something like Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn, and it was a massive failure, it doesn't matter, because as long as they have the right ideology, as long as they have the right politics, then at the end of the day, they're going to have a job. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.